This video contains commentary.
Hey, my dudes, it's story time, so sit on back and take a ride.
What is good, my little dudeskies? Welcome back to Storytime with your favorite Reddit fairy. My name is Lorna, and today we're gonna get to my favorite subreddit, r/StoriesAboutKevin. I've got a subscriber-submitted story, and I've got the top 5 stories of the month, plus 2 new ones and 1 not-so-new one. So I got 8 stories for you. You're gonna like it. So sit back, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, or I will track you down and change your Wi-Fi password. And let's get into it. Pill Pooping Kevin, posted by user SunnyKL. A few years back, one of my husband's fraternity brothers stayed with us for a long weekend so he could attend some reunion type thing. I'm fairly sure he's a Kevin. Since hubby and I had a long-standing family obligation on Friday night, Kevin was left to his own devices in the house. I knew this wouldn't end well, but I was expecting get the dog drunk type antics. Nope, Kevin went in the freezer for some ice cream, or maybe he was just being nosy. Anyhow, he saw some unlabeled tablets in a blister pack and decided they were drugs. Why? Who knows what goes on in a mind of a Kevin? Hubby and I aren't the types to have anything stronger than Advil in the house. Regardless, he popped a couple. After an hour or so of nothing happening, he decided to take 4 more. When we got home, Kevin informed us that we'd better ask for a refund because those pills in the freezer were duds. What pills? The ones in our freezer. That's cheese-curdling enzymes called rennet. I'd been going through a phase of learning to make my own cheese. Rennet is a necessary ingredient that comes in form and is best stored in the freezer. It absolutely will not make you high. In that quantity, it will cause severe gastric distress best not observed in nature. I will never forget the sounds that came from the bathroom all Saturday. Don't take mystery pills from the freezer, Kevin. They're not all gonna be drugs. Oh my god. Who does? People still do this? Haven't you learned anything from like the 60s and 70s? Like, you don't just take things that you think are pills that are lying around. Like, oh, but I guess it's a Kevin. They're not known for their thinking capabilities. Holy shit. All right, my dudes, let's get into the next story. This one is called Kevin Snapped His Fucking MacBook in 2, posted by user Somewhere Out in Space. I posted about this particular Kevin before, here. There's a little linky poo here. If you want to get a feel for how clueless he is in general, this post covers an event that just happened yesterday. So rewind about 24 hours. I'm in the student common room, studying for my upcoming chem quiz. Kevin is sitting across the table from me, watching YouTube, without headphones, of course. Now, my laptop is a convertible. You can tilt the screen 360 degrees, allowing you to switch between laptop, tablet, and the sort of intermediate tablet with stand zone. Since I'm doing Quizlet flashcards, I swing it around so it's in tablet with stand form and start tapping away. Kevin, in the meantime, has taken sudden and significant interest in this feature of my laptop. Out of the corner of my eye, I see him experimentally pushing the screen of his MacBook Pro, the newest model, I believe, back. I say to myself, he'll realize his doesn't convert. But nope. Kevin dramatically swoops his MacBook off the table and fucking yanks his screen back with all his strength. Unsurprisingly, the hinge snaps and takes some cables inside with it. The screen is now an unusable, garbled mess and is swinging back and forth limply. Kevin slowly realizes what he's done and then proceeds to yeet his broken, brand new MacBook across the room, where it smashes into the wall and turns off for good. The best part about this is that he came into school today with a new MacBook. His parents got him a new one immediately. God help this kid in the real world. Exactly. These are the ones that will never learn consequences for anything. I don't even know what to say about this. Like, I'm baffled. How? Like, my parents would kick my fucking ass. Like, what? My parents would kick my ass. I never got, when I went to school, we didn't have, there was like one kid in my class that had a laptop. one kid, and that was because he had it was like an IEP. He needed that to help him with his learning, but nobody else had them when I was in high school. So this is a new thing that I mean, obviously it had to happen at some point, but it's just really weird to know, like, you could just sitting in a room all day listening to, like, I don't want to frick up my video if I start typing on my keyboard, but you're like, you just hear that all day. Isn't that awesome? I love my keyboard, but oh my god, these fucking Kevins are something else, I'm telling ya. I actually have one of those laptops the one that I'm using is like the 3-in-1 or whatever you call them. So I know exactly what they're talking about. Mine folds completely like inverted from how it normally closes, complete opposite. So I know what they're talking about. And it's really funny to me that he would even attempt that. Like, what the fuck? Kevina and the coronavirus. Posted by user Head2Heels. I'm still not over this. I always knew my cousin, who's a 24-year-old female, wasn't very smart. But I had no idea that she was such a Kevina. Thankfully, I wasn't there when this happened, or else I would have died laughing. Okay, so a bit of backstory. My grandfather owns and runs a general provision store, kind of like a bodega. We visit him every Sunday evening after Mass. My sister and I visited him before Mass, so we skipped going later. At the same time, India is a diverse country in terms of people, because of our geographical location, as well as surrounding countries and various invasions over the last few centuries. The people in North India tend to be fair and almost white-skinned. Some of them have light eyes, while most of the people in South India are a lot more darker. And then there's those from the northeast of India, majorly with Mongoloid features. At the end of the day, we're all Indian, regardless of how we look and sound. Okay, back to the story. My mom was at the store with her sister, my aunt, and cousin Kevina. They were chatting. Suddenly, Kevina addresses my grandfather. Kevina. Papa, be careful with the King Chili people. They all have a virus. King Chili is the Chinese restaurant 2 doors down. It's run by Northeast Indians. So my mom says, What? Who told you this? Kevina, very convinced, says, All Chinese people have a virus, and it's getting spread. Be careful of all these Chinese people in Chinese restaurants. Mom, firstly, the virus began in China, and those who traveled there have it and are at risk. Kevina, but I saw all Chinese people are being suspected for... Mom, where did you see or hear that? Kevina. Mom, also, the owners of King Chili are not Chinese. They're all Indian. Kevina. But they look Chinese? Mom, they're from the Northeast. And then my mom refused to tell me the rest. But I can't get over the fact that my cousin thought that magically Chinese people all over the world suddenly contracted a virus. Makes it sound like a faulty app update or something. But in all seriousness, stay safe, guys. Oh my god. I was reading something about this today. There's like over 1,000 casualties of the coronavirus to this date. I got a notification from Google this morning, and I was like, I am never leaving my house. There's never. I'm just gonna stay in my house forever and ever and ever. So that's why we need to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers so I can get monetized. I don't want to leave my house. I don't mean to laugh. Don't take my laughter as laughing at those that are suffering with this, because I am not. It's more of a nervous laugh with me. People sometimes they think that I'm being like offensive, like if somebody asks me something and I start laughing, it's just because either I just don't know how to answer it and it's more embarrassment at myself, and that's why I laugh. It's got nothing to do with me like having no heart, because I think you dudes know I have a pretty big heart. But it's so sad what's going on, like, and people are buying up all the face masks, the surgical face masks, which is causing a shortage to like the hospitals and all that, and people who actually do need them. So it's an interesting situation that we're all in right now, and I really hope that they find something to wipe this virus out. Cause man, those last time I saw the numbers, it was like 300 something confirmed deaths, and now it's over 1,000. That was only like a week or two ago. So it's not it's not something to sneeze at. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, be safe. Wash your hands. Just yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this. Just be informed, stay informed. Don't panic, but just stay informed. I don't know how my video turned into something about the coronavirus. I'm just saying I just want everybody to be safe and healthy and everything like that. So, let's get into some more funny stories so we can lift our spirits a little bit. I think so. Yes. This one is called My Mom, Kevina, Doesn't Understand How Genetics Work. Posted by user Oscar the Posker. Let me start by saying my mom is generally nice and fairly smart person. She is, however, not very good at slightly more complicated biology, anything over common knowledge, as her job just had nothing to do with it. My dad, however, studied medicine for a while, and both my sister and I were taking biology classes in high school. Backstory. My mom has been donating blood for decades, and she instilled in my sister and me the desire to start donating as soon as we could as well. In my country, you can sign up to become a blood donor at 18, and the first time you go, they take just a little blood to do some testing. It's only the second time that you actually donate blood. Because it would be my first time to actually donate blood, my mom and I went together. Meanwhile, my sister stayed at home with my dad. My parents divorced when I was 6 because they just didn't fit together. They were still on speaking terms and relatively friendly with each other. There was never any betrayal going on, just plain not getting along. To the story. When we got to the blood donation center, we got handed a questionnaire with the important data for the doctor on it. Example, number of times you've donated, if it went well last time, blood pressure, etc., including your blood type. I have O negative. Both my parents have O positive. Something my mom knew, but I didn't. The donation went well. We headed back to my dad's place to pick up my sister. My mom was nice and happy the whole time, but as soon as we walked into the living room, where both my dad and my sister were chilling on the couch, she suddenly said, "Dad, explain this. Oscar the Posker has O negative blood and I don't. How is that possible?" Very clearly implying that somehow my dad cheated on her, and that's why my blood was different than hers and my dad's. She wasn't screaming mad or anything, but all three of us just stared at her until my dad said, "Well, if something happened there, you're the one to know." After my mom put two and two together, we just laughed, and later on I explained to her how genetics work. Oh, I'm glad you did. Because if anything, that would indicate she was the cheater, not him. So they both had O positive. So let's see if we type in what happens. Oh, if I can type properly. When two parents have O positive blood type. That means each child of these parents has a 1 in 8 chance to have a baby with an O negative blood type. Each of their kids will also have a 3 in 8 chance of having A+, a 3 in 8 chance of having O+, and a 1 in 8 chance of being A negative. An A+ parent and an O+ parent can definitely have an O negative child, blah, 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 blah. My dudes, fun fact, my blood type is A negative. I'm rare. I'm not super rare, but it's rare-ish. More you know about your fairy. Okay, shut up, Lorna. Let's get into the next story. This one is called Cigarettes Are Good For Ya. Posted by user Katniss-Everbeans. I worked with a Kevin at a pizza shop in high school. Super nice dude. Funny. But the man was dumb as rocks, which in part contributed to why he was funny, I guess. One afternoon, we were in the middle of afternoon lull of the day, so a couple of us go sit outside to smoke a cigarette. Our boss comes out and, as always, tries to give out fatherly advice, sees us all smoking and goes, "I don't know why you guys do that shit, it's terrible for you." This Kevin of ours goes, "Nah, man, it's totally good for ya." We all think he's making a funny retort to try and deflect the obvious critic from our boss, so we all laugh a little. No fucking fooling. This kid hears our laugh and goes, "No, I'm serious. Cigarettes are good for your bones. They have some, like, calcium and shit in them." The boy was dead fucking serious. Took probably 3 weeks of us bringing in research and medical books to show him that cigarettes are not good for your bones. Hoping he's okay out there in the big, wide world. Bless his soul. This is like, this reminds me of the whole argument about like cigarettes versus vaping. Everybody's like, "Oh, vaping's so much more healthier." But smoking anything is not healthy. I'm a smoker, okay? I'm not biased whatsoever, so smoking anything is not healthy. You should, like, you're basically just speeding up the process of buying your burial site. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could quit. I'm trying. I really am trying. It's not easy. It's not freaking easy, especially when you don't have a job and nothing to do all day. It's like, okay, I'm bored. I'm going to have a smoke, you know? So I'm just trying. I've been trying to replace it with other things. Let me know in the comments below what you guys do to curb your nicotine cravings or food cravings if you have, if you eat too much. When I'm stressed, I don't eat. I'm like the opposite of a stress eater. It's like I can't, if I eat something, I'll throw up. I'm not anorexic, by the way. I'm not bulimic. I'm not anorexic. None of those things. It's just when I'm stressed, I can't. It's like I have to pace back and forth, find something to do, and then when I finally settle down, then I can eat something. But I don't go for days without eating, so don't read too much into that. I'm just saying sometimes when you get a little panic attack, I can't eat when I'm having one of those. Well, how do I keep doing that? I keep like shifting gears on these conversations to like stuff that doesn't even pertain to the fucking story. Oh my god, my dudes. You guys, before I get into the last 2 stories, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future videos just like this one. Like I said in my last video, I hope to do a giveaway if I reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of February. So sharing is caring, my dudes. Don't forget to smash that. I don't want to run over to your house and change your Wi-Fi password and stop you from going online, because that would stop you from enjoying my videos. So make sure you subscribe. Thanks. The Exciting Popinator and Kevina, posted by user wicked_irony678. I have been on a long-term voyeur of this thread and often want to share stories of my kindred Kevina. I am on mobile, so I apologize for any formatting anomalies. Some background. My Kevina is a smart cookie. She is in IT, enjoys working on crazy math and physics problems for fun, loves tutoring people in all things tech, math, and physics related. On a lovely summer afternoon, our child decided that we 3 should have popcorn and binge watch some Phineas and Ferb. She was 8 at the time. But Kevina and I love the show as well, because who wouldn't want a good bingeinator? So, those 2 go into the kitchen to pop the corns happily, while I set up our camp, as I sit there and wait, and wait, and wait. I wonder what has become of the situation. I should note at this point that Kevina purchased an air popper about a year prior in an effort to be a bit healthier. Prior to this, she had only known to microwave popcorn, and had only seen me use oil in a pot one time because that was the only method available. After roughly 15 minutes, I hear Kevina loudly say, "Oh no!" and "How is the oil getting out?" and "Oh my god, it's hot! What do I do?" All the while, I hear the child in the background mercilessly laughing, the kind of laughing that comes with watching someone fuck up so bad and be so confused that you just have no control over yourself. When I walk in, there was the sound of the air popper running, frantic cries from Kevina, more child laughter, and so much wonder and amazement just filled me. There was smoke and oil all about. A few popcorn kernels here and there. She just left it running, confused about what to do. I ran over and unplugged it so we did not all die from the monstrosity she created and tried to calm her down. Then the tears began. She explained, I just warmed up the air popper, then added the oil, then the corn kernels, then out of nowhere the oil started coming out of the sides and bottom and splashing out the top. Then the smoke started and burned. I couldn't stop laughing. I asked her to start from the beginning. Didn't make a dent. Then I asked her what the machine was. She said, air popper. Still no registration. So I finally asked the child why they allowed Kevina to put oil in an air popper. The answer? 2 reasons. Figured she knew what she was doing, and if not, I wanted to see what would happen. If there was ever a time for an emoji on Reddit, the huge grin would go here. Kevina still did not understand. So I cleaned this spewing mess, then called her back to the kitchen. I took apart the air popper in front of her and explained the mechanism of airflow. She says, but I thought we always put oil in. I died a little inside. Took her a bit to mull it over and understand, but she finally got it. And that, my friends, is how my Kevina made an oil poppinator with the help of an evil sidekick. What that kid? I just wanted to see what happened. We just want to see what happens when the world burns. Fuck. Oh my god, can you imagine walking into that? And then, having to explain? I don't know what the fucking air popper is. Wait, have I? I don't remember. I used to have when I was a kid, we had a popcorn maker. And I'm trying to remember how... I think it was just the air. I don't think it used any oil at all. I think we just put the popcorn kernels in, and then we put this cover on top, and then on top there was a little thing to put butter in, so that while it was heating up, it would warm up the butter, and then after it all popped up, then you just use that little tray, pop it up and pour the butter on, and you're good to go. I don't like popcorn, by the way. But, we had one. We definitely had one. I cannot stand the smell of popcorn, especially all you motherfuckers that bring popcorn to work and pop popcorn at work. Just stop doing that. Please stop doing that. I'm gonna puke on your desk one of these days. All right, my dudes, let's get into the last story of the day. This one is a kind of long one as well. That's what she said. I suffered through an entire year trying to train this Kevin. Posted by user NBead. Sorry for the long post, but I swear I've condensed it a great deal already. Kevin had just graduated high school and landed a job in my team. Our recruitment company had stopped working with us because we had poached one of their employees, and I suspect they had placed him with us as one last piece of revenge. He was on a 1-year business admin traineeship and seemed to think he was going to run his own business one day. Now, Kevin was nice enough. He showed up on time, he wore professional attire, he tried to sound professional on the phone. Unfortunately, he had an incredible lack of common sense and a complete inability to comprehend the most basic instructions. Despite us showing him the correct way to do things several times, he would still do things like stealing other people's staplers because he couldn't figure out how to refill his own, bending paper clips out of shape to the point that they no longer even held the pages together, and saying, "But I like it this way," when he was questioned. Instead of folding letters in thirds with the client's address in the plastic window, he would fold it in half, then in half again, and crumple the envelope to try to cram it in. While setting up his voicemail message, the automated instruction voice told him to say his name. He gave an entire voicemail speech instead. My boss told him to fix it. He did the exact same thing again. Walk away when he jammed the printer, even though its screen shows very specific instructions, with pictures, on how to fix it. He got chewed out by a regional manager for this one. He also told stories about being hospitalized for drinking too much water and jumping into his car while it was being stolen because he always just left the keys on the seat. Kid you not, he was actually proud of himself, telling us all about how he was questioned by the police. He once asked me how to print a website. This was on work time, and the page was called How to Start a Business. I clarified that you would have to print each individual page, and he looked defeated. Halfway through his time here, we realized that he needed to be told not to sleep at his desk, to which he said, "It makes the day go faster." He would almost always leave 15 minutes early every day. My boss worked different hours, until he had explained to him that he was paid to be at work, working. He once loaded up a manager's car with the wrong boxes of pamphlets, but couldn't even calculate how many we needed to recover because he wasn't counting how many boxes he'd taken in the first place. This seemed like a normal mistake until I tell you that I had set them up for him on a shelf, shown him, then taped on a post-it note saying, "For manager's name." At one point, I caught him trying to send spreadsheets of our customers' sensitive data to the external company that graded his coursework. I had to explain that, no, you can't give out clients' full names, date of birth, addresses, and contact information to people who don't work here. He accepted a call from reception and told them it was okay for them to send a client to our locked floor. We're just head office processing the paperwork. Clients aren't supposed to show up here. Then, when the doorbell rang, he didn't even get up to answer it. I had to do everything I could to converse with them without letting them in, meaning I wasn't able to go back inside to grab business cards for the consultants who could help him. This kid kept chewed off fingernails on his desk, and he spilled toner on there which he ignored until we moved offices. I counted. He just never asked or Googled how to clean it up. It wasn't on part of his desk that he touched, so I wasn't concerned about poisoning. Just wanted to see how long it would last. Guys, he straight up left it there for almost 5 months. After that, he was only in our new office for 6 days before his placement was finished and managed to spill some kind of sticky, oily goo all over his desk and inside the drawers, ready for his replacement. He proved over and over that we couldn't trust him with anything even mildly difficult, so we only ended up performing about 15 to 20% of the role. Then one day, he told my coworker, "This job is so easy," and that he was looking to pursue higher education in the field. This was a shock to all of us as his coursework was returned most of the time for errors. The weirdest thing I saw was when he had flimsy envelopes that needed a piece of tape in each corner to secure the contents. He would place these 2 pieces of tape on top of each other. It seemed like every time we tried to teach him something, half of it flew right out of his brain. We tried different learning styles, hoping maybe if he wrote them down or sent pictures or got him to press the buttons himself a few times, that he would start to get it. No dice. I told my boss about one of his mistakes that I discovered after he left, and she told me, some brains you just can't work with. He finally finished with us a few months ago, and I'm still trying to adjust to working with his competent replacement. What do you mean you know how to follow patterns, problem solve, and refer to notes? I will never take common sense for granted again. This is, people that work in tech support, I'm sure learned that lesson a long fucking time ago. A long time ago. Oh my god. Yeah, that's scary. And you know, there's people out there that like are really super smart. They're wicked smart. Oh, by the way, I lied. I have one more. I got one more story. I completely forgot. I almost forgot. I didn't completely forgot because here I am doing it now. Walter Irizarry posted his part 3 of the legend of the legendary Kevin. Kevin gets an intervention, almost gets beat up by a woman at a club, and sets himself on fire. Twice. Fast forward 2 years after my last post. My best friend Jeff and his 2 sisters had an apartment. His younger sister was newly single and wanted to go out to the club to blow off breakup stress. Kevin had popped up and wanted to hang out. Jeff and Kevin knew each other from going to the same school, but were not friends. Kevin, of course, has even less common sense over what he says and tells us that he's been up to. He's got a new tattoo of his job's logo, from which he was recently fired. He was working HR at a casino. He had developed a taste for gambling and was not very good at it. He was the check issuer and could even give an advance on a paycheck. He was fired because, in addition to advancing to gambling, he was sending money to women he was talking to online. He was living out of his car or sleeping at the casino he worked at. He showed us a tattoo of the casino's logo he got. On his heart, it was a large black spade with a blue dolphin jumping over it. We held an intervention to convince him he was being scammed by the girls he was sending money to, that he was doing too many dumb things. He provided chat logs, which was weird because he printed them out and there were hundreds of pages. The logs proved 1. The girls didn't wait long before asking for things, and 2. He was bad at talking to girls and told them he loved them almost immediately. They were trying to talk sense into him when he brings out a bag of art his dad gave him. To our horror, he opened the bag and showed us what was essentially porn. The worst one being a book of children from Europe. This idiot kept it in his trunk. We made him burn it along with the chat logs. Intervention over we play cards and we eat pizza when he randomly says, "Hey guys, guess what? I'm a Filipino-American gangster. I'm a fag." My friend Jeff, who was also Filipino, wanted to hit him. We told him to shut the fuck up or he would be limping out of here instead of going to the club. We start getting ready and for some reason, he's got fireworks and wants to light some. They're fountains and not that big, and I have a few Roman candles but wanted to save them but brought out a couple anyways. He lights the fountains, which weren't very impressive. To up the excitement, he decides he's going to jump over it. He runs like a gazelle and clears it no problem. He decides to up the ante. He tries to bet he can do a cartwheel over it. Kevin can run, but the guy is not coordinated. He's got 2 left feet put on backwards and would lose an eye trying to walk and chew gum on a good day. As expected, he begins his cartwheel too early, burning a hole in his tracksuit pants. We laugh our asses off and go to the club after Jeff let Kevin borrow some clothes. While at the club, Kevin is trying to go drink for drink with me, which during that time was not a good idea. He quickly was staggered drunk by round 2 and had to hit the can. The men's and women's restrooms were side by side, but there was a long line for the ladies and virtually no wait for the men. Kevin is waiting for the one dude in front of him to finish, looking at a good-looking girl waiting in the women's line. He offers for her to go in before him into the men's room, holding the door open. Noble, right? Nope. Kevin goes in after her. They both come back out immediately and she is pissed, taking swings at him. She had some of her squad with her in line and they start trying to hit him too. I go and apologize and tell her to go use the bathroom and he was drunk and very, very stupid. He asked me why she was so mad. I didn't want to waste time explaining, so I told him to let it go. We go to our group to dance and it's going fine until Kevin starts trying to freaking grind Jeff's sister. She was not happy about that at all, as she was well aware how stupid he is. She and the girls with us left to dance by themselves, so we dispersed to find girls to dance with us. Kevin danced alone, doing the choreography he learned in the class he failed, looking like a toddler learning how to walk. We get home, and before he leaves, he asks for one of my Roman candles. Tired and wanting my bed, and to avoid Jeff's sister who was pissed at me, story for another day, I said, sure, fine, whatever, just go home. He was sober enough to drive by that point. He says he's going to light the Roman candle, roll down the window, and shoot it off while driving. I told him he'll get pulled over, shot, or both. He did it anyways, but forgot to roll down his window. He lit the candle first and closed the door, trying to roll the window down before it started firing. We watched as inside his car was a volley of 10 pink and green flashes and bangs inside his car. Smoke filled the car like he was hotboxing it, and he burned Jeff's pants a little. Kevin then had the balls to ask for another Roman candle. I, of course, told him hell no. It was a hell of a night. I thought he was going to ask for another pair of pants, not another Roman candle. Jesus fucking Christ, Kevin. But okay, I'm sorry, but did I understand that right? You found bad images of children in his trunk? Walter? Can you clear that up for me? Because why would you still hang out with him after that? That's just so wrong. This guy is, oh my god, there's no coming back. There's no turning back for this one. This Kevin has gone past the point of no return, my dudes. I think that's all I could say about that. But oh my god, that Kevin, is this is the same guy, right? This is the same guy that, made Rav all uncomfortable. Oh my god. Walter, what is up with this dude? Was he like, does he play hockey? Did he get like a lot of concussions or something? Like, is he a fucking hoser? What's the deal? Let me know. Walter, my dude, you should really, 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 really post these to Reddit. Post them on the r/StoriesAboutKevin subreddit, because these are good. These are good stories, and I think people would want to read them. But up to you, my dude. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. I'm pretty sure. Thanks for stopping by my video there, my dudes. Don't forget to enjoy your maple syrup with your egos, and you guys all have a fan-fucking-tabulous day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications for future videos just like this one. I don't want to change your Wi-Fi password, so please don't do that to me. I don't want to have to call you a fucking hoser either. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. My dudes, the links, as always, will be in the description. So head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it. And yeah, that's all I got. I hope you guys have a fan-fucking-tabulous day. I hope you enjoyed these stories. And as always, thank you so much for your support. I will see you in tomorrow's r/choosing beggar episode. Peace out, my dudes.